Most manufacturers will have a launch for any new models that they've got coming out, and when Kawasaki asked me to the launch for their first ever scooter, I of course jumped at the chance. It was an early start, 6:30 AM flight from Gatwick. I had to get up at 3:30, but when we finally got here to the Yellow Hotel in Lagos, Portugal, it was totally worth it. It's a 5-star hotel, it's right on the seafront, amongst mountains, but then you've also got the hustle and bustle of the nearby town. We pretty much had the day to ourselves, so we went for lunch, had a little mooch around the hotel, got familiar with the surroundings, and then in the evening it was down to business and we had our presentation. Dinner and the presentation from Kawasaki all about the J300. Now they say that it's a great commuter bike, but not only that, it's brilliant for riding into the countryside on a weekend with a pillion on the back, and it's still really comfortable when you do loads of miles. So I'll be looking forward to finding out whether that's true tomorrow. But now it's time for some shut-eye. And no, you're not invited. Right, so you know I said that it was sunny Portugal? Well, it serves me right for showing off because it is actually drizzly this morning. There was a thunderstorm outside about 5 AM. But it looks like it's clearing up and I'm ready to go and have some fun. I've been allocated my bike, it's over there, so let's see what it's like. First we did some town riding in Lagos, which is just a couple of miles down the road. It was really busy, lots of traffic, cars pulling out on you, pedestrians not looking where they're going. So not too dissimilar to what you get at home. We spent some time in the town, getting some photos, doing some ride-bys, getting some video, and then we headed into the mountains, which was about an hour's ride to our next photo stop. I know a lot of you say, well, what's the point in going to Portugal and riding a bike around in the sun on nice roads? Well, actually it's raining, it's freezing, it's so cold and windy, and the roads are really greasy, so I've got a good idea of how it's going to be in the UK. It's really comfortable to ride, just really cold at the moment, but so far, so good. Comfortable after an hour, so that can't be bad. From there we had a half-an-hour wet ride to a beautiful cliff-top restaurant. There I got to chat to Martin Lambert. He's actually the communications manager for Kawasaki Europe. Martin, why have Kawasaki decided to enter the scooter market now?
One of the things you have to consider is actually in Europe, the market between motorcycles and scooters is roughly 50-50. So there's a huge market there. A lot of people will already know about J-Concept, the innovative future concept that was introduced at the Tokyo Motor Show. That's probably at the end of our thinking about personal transport solutions, especially for city riding. At the beginning, we have J300, the bike that we're introducing now. So for Kawasaki, it's not really just about being a scooter, it's about personal transport solutions as well.
So who are Kawasaki marketing the J300 at? What type of rider?
A lot of different riders. So we will obviously be talking to people who are confirmed scooter riders or interested in scooters. But we'll be also talking to people who are thinking about taking up riding for the very first time, who maybe want a second machine. They've already got a motorcycle and they want another machine, perhaps to commute on. Two areas of huge significance though. Young riders, because not just Kawasaki but the whole motorcycle industry needs young riders, and also women riders.
On a different note, these launches, there seems to be a lot of planning involved. How long have you been out here for?
In the case of a launch, it probably takes 6 to 8 months to do. So there is a lot of things to consider. We consider the accommodation, the roads, the transport links, all sorts of things. You just see the tip of the iceberg. You don't see the hotels or the locations that we've rejected. You don't see the parts of the map where the road stopped being so interesting that we rejected and started again. In the last 5 years we've introduced 14 new motorcycles to the market. So sometimes you go launch, 2 weeks, launch, 2 weeks, launch. So it's a lot of pressure.
It's got a 299cc single-cylinder, 4-stroke, liquid-cooled engine, producing 28 PS and reaching top speeds of 75 miles per hour. What was really interesting is that Kawasaki have actually partnered with Kymco, and Kymco are the second largest seller for scooters in the world. What was also interesting to find out is that over 50% of bike sales are scooters. The market is huge. So it was a great day, a little bit cold, but all in all, a really good day to get to know the bike. In terms of handling, the bike's really well balanced. I found it really light and easy to control. The cutout platform in the footplate means that your legs are parallel when you're stationary, so you're not like John Wayne, and I think that's a really nice touch. The seat's super comfortable. I did find that I was sliding down it a little bit, and I'd like the footplate to be a little bit longer. I like to stretch my legs out when I'm riding. I think if you've got big feet or you're particularly tall, you might find this bike a little bit cramped. This bike is really economical. Kawasaki actually won't give an MPG, but I did about 90 miles today. The tank went down by 2/5, so I reckon it must do 60 to 70 miles per gallon, which is pretty impressive. Things that make this bike great: it's got loads of storage. Underneath the seat you can fit a full face helmet and an A4 document case. I reckon I'd be able to get my handbag in there as well. It's handy being able to carry an extra helmet around with you. There's been times when I've been out with friends and I haven't been able to give them a lift home. Don't tell Luke that. It's also got a little glove box which is near the handlebars, and there's a 12-volt power supply there, so you can chuck your phone in and charge it on the go, which is pretty neat. If you're a bit of a storage fiend like I am, then there are more storage optional extras, a couple of top boxes to choose from, and also a bag that fits in between your legs. Talking about optional extras, you can get a larger screen, handlebar muffs, and those stupid weather aprons that people always wear around London. Kawasaki wanted this scooter to have elements of motorcycle styling, and I think they've really managed to do that. There were times when I was riding along, looking in the mirror, and the bikes behind me, if you looked really quickly, looked a little bit like a ZX-10. It looks really sporty, futuristic, stealth looking, and I think it's possibly one of the best looking scooters on the market. So what's it like to actually ride? Well, I think if you didn't know that this was a 299cc and you got on it, you'd perhaps think that it had a bigger engine. I was cruising at 70 miles per hour at points, and I felt like it still had more to give. It's got loads of low end torque, it's quick off the lights as you'd expect it to be. That punch is going to be ideal when you're at the traffic lights and you want to beat the city traffic. That top end speed is perfect for motorway riding, longer journeys, and it's even more comfortable than my Harley, which I've got at home, which says a lot. I didn't get to take a pillion today, nobody will get on the back with me, but I think it'd be comfortable for them because they've got a big seat, their own foot pegs so they can distribute their weight evenly, which makes it better for the rider because obviously the handling's better. Something that really frustrates me is the divide between scooters and motorcyclists. The rest of Europe gets it, so why don't we? I actually think that most motorcyclists would enjoy riding a scooter, but they just don't want to be seen on one. One thing that Martin said to me was that Kawasaki are really trying to get younger riders onto bikes and women as well, and I think that the fact that you can ride the J300 on an A2 licence will help this. It comes in silver or black at £4,049, or for an extra £100 you can get the graphics special edition, which is what I was on today. Kawasaki says that the J300 appeals to sports-minded riders who are looking for a daily dose of fun for their commute. And let's not forget about Kawasaki's brand loyalty. This scooter is going to do really well for people who are looking for a second bike. Maybe they've got a ZX-10 that they use at the weekends and they want something a little bit more convenient for their daily commute. I've had a great couple of days here with Kawasaki. They've been really accommodating. The hotel's beautiful. Portugal was great apart from the weather. And it's really interesting to see what goes on behind the scenes at a launch. I really think that the J300 is going to appeal to loads of different types of riders. And with those looks, it's definitely going to stand out.